The giant of Africa has offered a good amount to the world we live in. Nigeria produces a heavy amount of graduates in the Western world. Nigeria has also produced global artists and athletes while producing a heavy amount of natural oil and gas to other nations. However, Nigeria is also notorious for producing a multitude of scammers and having a dense history of government corruption. It has been classified a third world nation for as long as anyone can remember, but based on what we know about the society and the potential of Nigeria, could we actually call it a third world country? This is what we will look at today on Green Click. By the way, be a friend and subscribe, share and like to help us make more videos you love about our great country. Let's dive in. During the Cold War, Alfred Salvi coined the term Third World for countries that were not aligned with NATO, led by the United States, or the communist nations, led by Russia. But due to the status of the countries at the time, which were mostly African, Asian, and Latin American countries, it became a stereotypical term used to describe countries that were riddled with poverty and social stagnation. Other nations like India, Cuba, and even South Africa were labeled third world countries at the time. But when the 90s came, the third world term was at the height of its prominence, but slowly got pushed to the back as people became cautious of the word and nations began to improve infrastructure. So now the term used for countries that are not of the first world but are stricken in poverty is termed the developing country. Former Secretary General of the United Nations, Kofi Annan, defined a developing country as a nation that allows all its citizens to enjoy a free and healthy life in a safe environment. And therefore, a developing country would struggle with this. Typically, a developing country is judged on wealth, human resource, and economic vulnerability. Funny enough, the term developing country does not even have an agreed notion simply because there is no reference point to base anything on. There is no amount of money that is a benchmark for a successful nation, and you cannot measure social life to determine what classifies a nation as a developing country. So after all that information, is Nigeria a third world country? By definition, yes, but that term has become irrelevant. However, if you are asking if Nigeria is a developing country, one could say yes and no. See, Nigeria produces so much oil and natural gas that if the profit was shared equally between the citizens of Nigeria, each person would receive $222 per day. That is $6,500 a month, or you can even call it $80,000 a year, which is beyond the median salary in most first world nations. Furthermore, technological startups are on the rise, and the super city, Eco Atlantic, which is being dubbed the Dubai of Africa, is nearing its completion. Ultimately, Nigeria contributes 0.6% to global wealth, which is more than any other African nation. On the flip side though, Nigeria still suffers from water and sanitation issues. The political powers that be in Nigeria still remain supremely corrupt, and employment rate still is at large. If only Nigeria could follow the steps of Dubai and invest its profits in creating other ways to generate money, like tourism. So at the end of this, if you ask us, Nigeria is not a developing country. Neither is it a first world country. It's just a country. Thank you for spending a few minutes of your day with us. If you'd like to be informed when we roll out new videos, please subscribe and give us a like. Share this with a friend and drop a comment if you disagree or would like to request a video. Till then, brothers and sisters, have a nice day.